always good to get an opportunity to be on the field with the guys. And, there's always a ton to gain from each one of these practices. And today certainly was no different. And really, every practice has been like that. So, I've appreciated that from it. And we just got to continue to keep working and maximize the opportunities that we have in the remaining 2 weeks we have in spring ball.
Go to Jeff.
Paul, last year, Mason Stockey gave you blocking, running, receiving out of that fullback position. I'm just curious what you've seen from Chanel and Easterling this spring. And can those two guys give you what Chanel and Stockey gave you last year?
That's Mace gave us a lot. And, we've been fortunate. We've had a run of really good fullbacks, and John's played, as you know, played a lot of football, and certainly has the opportunity for this year for his role to be different than it's been in the past. And even just the way that, and you saw it today and the way we're practicing, kind of banged up a little bit at the running back spot. And so those guys are getting much more reps really at the tailback spot. And so I think there's still a lot of work to be done, particularly with Quan. We certainly know more about John, but it'll be interesting, Jeff. I don't know. And I don't know that this spring will necessarily be able to answer that completely.
Go to Colton.
Paul, we've seen you guys use a lot of 2 tight end sets. I'm just wondering, with the versatility that group has, the amount of guys that you have there that can play, is that something that you are trying to experiment more with in the spring session?
It's we have a group that we want to find out more about, and we also, like I said, with the running backs and kind of the availability of some of them to practice. Our fullbacks are being used as much as tailbacks, and then we're getting some back, but we were at times a little thin at receiver, so that's where you saw a lot of use of them. But it's good, for those tight ends to get a lot of work and to find out kind of what they can do, and then can they do it consistently. And I think that's it in a nutshell for everyone. Spring ball, I don't think necessarily declares, who the starters are necessarily going to be, but I think in spring you've got to put yourself out there, and you've got to prove that you can do something, that you can give something to the team that makes you valuable, worthwhile of the playing time, and then you got to be able to do that consistently. And I think we've had guys at the tight end spot that have done some really good things, and you're starting to see consistency. I've loved the way that Jake Ferguson's approached, but we know Jake's a good football player. I've been impressed with the way Esh has been approaching each day. And then you've got a group of guys that I think need to take advantage of the reps, and Clay and Rucci and Cam Large. It's a shame with Cole Dakovich. He's missing a lot of practice now due to an injury, and I thought he was having a good start to his spring. But we'll keep working, and they're going to get a lot of reps this spring. That's the great thing about spring, and we'll find out more about them as we finish this out.
Jesse.
Paul, Devin Chandler got some good opportunities last season. Where has he taken a step this spring, and is he somebody that can potentially work his way into that group at wide receiver?
Yeah, he did. He did get some opportunities last year, and you hope that and I believe it has kind of given him an understanding of the importance of kind of all that goes into being a good position player. And the one thing I've appreciated about Devin in his approach this spring is he's been eager to learn, and been taking a lot of reps, and I think taking the coaching from Coach Whitted and puts himself out there. And so certainly has put himself in a position to get those reps and earned them. And I think, the second half of spring, you're starting to see a little bit more where he's playing a little bit more. And I think anytime you get to the point where you're playing more and thinking less, then I think you get a better and more accurate picture of their abilities. And I think you're starting to see that. We're starting to see that with Devin.
Steve,
Just wondering, in terms of receivers as well, with DK, what did he get from last year, his experience last year, having to play in a lot as a true freshman, and what have you seen from him this spring so far?
You know, Chim's, I thought the way that he approached last year was tremendous and true to character, and it's high character. He, you know, the off season and has carried that forward in spring, and a guy I think that's, you know, has done a great job of kind of how he approaches each day. And you know, when you talk about guys, you want them to have purpose and to practice with purpose. I think he's doing a tremendous job of that, and I think it's paying off. You know, there's a guy that, you know, Jim got a ton of reps and a lot of experience, and I think you know, has done a nice job of taking that experience and building off of it. And I've been impressed, you know, really from first time we got to be with Jim, and I think he's done a nice job this spring of taking advantage of spring and continuing to improve.
Pablo,
Coach, you touched on it a little bit with having Jake Ferguson coming back has got to be a big part for the offense. Over the years, where have you seen him develop as not just a player, but as a leader?
Well, I think, you know, he has developed, I think, in every part of, you know, his game. And, you know, I also believe as a person, you know, you continue to grow, and he's obviously talented, but he's smart. And, you know, he invests in guys and gets to know his teammates. And I think that's a big part of leadership. And then also, I think, you know, Ferg loves playing the game, and guys see that, and you know, he loves to compete, and guys see that, and then they not only see it, but I think they respect that. And you know, when you have those pieces that kind of make you up and make you who you are, and you do know your teammates and care about your teammates, I think that makes for a good leader, and I think Ferg has certainly been that to this point.
George,
Yeah, Paul, as Jalen's kind of been banged up the last few practices, we've seen a lot of Brady Shipper and John Chanel. What do you like about those two as they've been looking like they take running back reps as well, especially for John, of course?
Well, I think that, you know, they've been available. They've been available and taking advantage of the opportunities to get better. And, you know, I feel real fortunate with Gary and the coaching that's being done, and guys that are able to apply it. And so I think you're seeing that, you know, guys that are able to take the coaching and apply the coaching will get better. And it's a combination, but, you know, they're wanting to learn, they're wanting to grow. And I think that they are doing that. And it's because they're out there and they're working at it.